So let's understand this SQL interview problem, monthly transactions 1. So over here we are given a table called transactions, where each row represents a transaction made in a specific country on a given date. And for every transaction, we have the country, the transaction state, which is whether it's approved or declined, the amount, and the transaction date. Now the goal is to compute monthly metrics per country, right? So what we need to do is, specifically for each month and country, we need to find total number of transactions, number of approved transactions, total transaction amount, and the total amount of approved transactions, right? So over here you can see the input table and the expected output. Now maybe let's break this down step by step. So first of all, we need to extract the month from the transaction date. So we convert the date into YYYYMM format because our aggregation is happening at the monthly level, right? Now we group the data. So we group by the extracted month and the country. And at this point, each group represents all transactions for a specific country in a specific month. And notice how the rows are logically grouped based on these two columns, right? Next, we compute the transaction counts. So for each group, we take the count star, which gives us the total number of transactions, right? And then we count the number of approved transactions using this conditional sum aggregation, right? And this works because the condition evaluates to 1 for approved rows and 0 otherwise, right? Now we compute the transaction amounts. So we take sum of amount, which gives us the total transaction amount. And for approved transactions, we again use a conditional sum. And we only add the sum when the state is approved, otherwise we add 0. Now finally, each group becomes one row in the output. So now we have all the required metrics computed per month and per country. Now let's understand how SQL actually executes this query. So first, the database loads all the rows from the transaction table, right? Next, we apply the group by, and this is where the rows are divided into groups based on month and country, right? And at this stage, no calculations are done yet, so only grouping happens. Finally, in the select clause, we compute the aggregated columns, that is the count of total transactions, the sum of approved count using this conditional sum aggregation, as you can see, right? Then the sum for total amount, and then again conditional sum for approved amount like this, right? And all calculations happen on each group. So this produces the final result where each row represents a month-country combination with all the required metrics, right? So that's the key idea. Group by defines the groups first, and select computes the metrics on those groups. Now if you understand this execution flow, a lot of SQL interview problems will become much easier, right? So that's it for this particular video, and now I will see you in the next one. Happy coding.